All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back. What a fantastic day today. I hope you guys made some money on those beautiful bear traps this morning. Now markets are chopping around, going sideways this afternoon. These seem like pretty difficult markets, but don't let these choppy sideways ranges fool you. There is money buried inside those ranges. There are three pretty easy ways to trade the range we're seeing right now. I'm going to go over my three favorite trades for tomorrow. I want to make sure you guys have a roadmap to make some money as well. Before we jump in, though, my favorite trades for Thursday. Make sure you subscribe to our channel. I don't want you to miss tomorrow night's video, so make sure you subscribe. And if you enjoyed these lessons, if you like these videos, hit that like button for me tonight. Give me a shout out. Give me a hell yeah down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for tuning in, supporting our channel. Another amazing day in the books. Let's keep the good times rolling this week. Charts are already in front of us. NASDAQ triple Qs are ready. Oh, the E-mini and the SPY is ready. I have four clues on this chart tonight, these charts, that are telling us where the best winning trades are going to be for tomorrow. One of those four clues is right here on this 60-minute chart. We know we're bullish overall. I like to use these hourly time frames, the 60-minute chart, to give me the best overall directional bias. So we know the odds are stacked in our favor on the long side right now. But you know what this doesn't give me? It doesn't help me time the entry. I like this time frame, the 60-minute chart, overall direction, but we need to go faster. How about some tick charts to time the perfect entry? I have three more clues on the tick charts right now. Let's grab some tick charts here. No major news for tomorrow, so we'll roll right into it here tonight. 60-minute time frames tell us are pretty easy, right? Bullish overall direction. The tick charts, though, are where the entry timing is a whole lot easier. We trade tick charts in our trade room. This is a 7,000 tick chart. You can see there up upper left-hand corner. And if you're watching for the first time right now, that yellow line right there, that is the 21 EMA. It's pretty much the only indicator I use to find, boy, lots of winning trades each week in our trade room at 8 o'clock Eastern time. There are three more, I think, more important clues right now on the tick charts. One of them is this big move higher. Now, if you recall, back earlier on in the week, this week, in Monday night's video, we talked about anytime we see a big move, what do we always ask for? A two-legged pullback, a bit more than a measured move, right? And a retest of that high. So we are right in the middle of the buyers now trying to punch their ticket and retest the high. That's an important clue. But I would argue an even more important clue is the strong move lower. We had that strong run down earlier on in the session. Anytime we see a strong move in one direction, we expect the bears are going to try to retest the low. Now, they may not get that retest of that low because I would argue the most important clue is this bullish range popping up here right now into a trading range. Now, you guys know this if you're taking my free video classes, but if you're here for the first time right now, ranges tell me two things. First of all, ranges act like magnets, and ranges like to rotate, right? Like a pendulum. They go up, they go down, they go up, they go down, right? Ranges love to rotate. Now, when I see a bull range like this, there are basically three ways to make money. We can look for bear traps underneath that trading range, off-key support here, off-key support here. That's one of the three ways we can trade. In fact, I have four different kind of variations of bear traps to buy below that low. We'll talk about that in more detail. But two more ways to trade a bullish range. The second way is for a breakout and a pullback, right? Breakout pullbacks are very common. We had a breakout pullback off that previous range from earlier on in the week. So second way to trade this is a breakout pullback. I have two ways to trade a breakout pullback. We'll talk about that in more detail as we go. And then remember, ranges act like magnets. A lot of resistance up overhead. The final way, in what might be one of the most lucrative trades of the week, is a fake out breakout, right? A fake out breakout. I have two, I think, pretty easy patterns I'm watching to short or trade a fake out breakout off of that high as well. So as you can see, I don't care what the market throws at us for tomorrow. I got a pretty good game plan. So let's jump into it. Let's start first with my favorite trade for my favorite trade. In all reality, we hope this market goes lower because we love to buy nice and low underneath that trading range. A bit later on in the video tonight, we'll cover the move going higher, the breakout pullback, and of course, the fake out breakout off the high. Now, There are two key levels I'm watching right now. One is this kind of 5,200 level, and the other, of course, is that 5,188. Keep in mind, these are very similar on the NASDAQ as well. So everything I talk about right now can be applied to the NASDAQ as well. I've got two areas where I want to be a buyer. Now, one of them, I'm a bit more worried about. Why? Because I know the sellers, they want to take out that low, right? The bears want to take out that low. So if all I get, and this is a great trade, but again, got to be aware of that strong run down. The bears want to take out that low. So in these situations, we call in our trade room, buy shallow pullback traps. Now, in last night's video, we talked about if I want to buy as low as I can, I like to trap the bears in, one try, two try, and grab what we call a technical bear trap. Now think about this, right? If we run lower, hopefully we get some rookies coming in and try to run this thing down to that low. We know that range above us is a magnet. We know the buyers are trying to go back up and take out that high. So if I can get these bears trying once, trying twice, I'd love to get a nice, again, this would be a technical bear trap pattern we teach in the free video course. I'd like to get that nice strong green candle closing above the moving average and get a bear trap pattern to buy off that low. Now remember, these come in lots of shapes and sizes. Sometimes they run lower and they come right back up like that. I'm going to wait for it to pull back and grab that bear trap, right? Most important thing is on a bear trap, it's a higher high in price. It's one try, two try. It could be 3 or 4 tries, to be honest with you, but a higher high in price, move right below that low, and that is your entry signal. And then think about this. We know ranges like to rotate, so the amount below the range, the amount above the range, that'll give us an easy area there to hold that runner right up around those highs here. So one of my favorite trades for tomorrow is a shallow pullback trap. We'll run lower. The bears will get caught getting short down here right into key support. Horrible spot to sell short, and we can trap those bears in with a technical trap pattern. Now, what we almost hope for tomorrow, we almost hope that we're going to get that run all the way back down to that low. Now, I love the idea of buying off that low, but you know me, I'm not going to pick a bottom on this, right? I'm not going to blindly buy that low. Just like today, we had that strong run down. We're not going to pick that bottom, right? As the market runs lower, I'm not going to pick the bottom because it's difficult to tell how far it will go. Instead, what I'll do is I'm going to look for that same thing over here, right? It's that failure. One try, two try. Now, I'm not so worried about buying low anymore. In this case, this becomes a straight up failure pattern. And then as we go higher, we don't chase after it. We add to our position, jumping in on that bear trap pattern. Again, in the video course, I call these failure patterns, right? Failure patterns, one try, two try, into then a technical bear trap. It's a higher high in price and a move right below that low. So we don't pick the bottom. We trap the bears in. Let me do today, right? Trap the bears in. If the bears get short right there, their stops are just begging to get lit up, right? I mean, if you're caught short and you get stopped out of your short trade, you become a buyer. This is where everyone is a buyer, right? One of my first mentors would always say, Joe, find situations where everyone is a buyer. The buyers are going to buy low in an overall bull market. Once those bears get stopped out, bears become buyers as well, right? Okay, now that sequence, right? That failure into bear trap sequence, I want you to think about that again, because sometimes what happens is sometimes these moves down are so strong, we're going to get that two try failure. We're going to get that pop up, but for whatever reason, right, they hold the underbelly of that range and they run it back down again. Now, these are winning trades. We get our 1-to-1 first target. Our stop moves up to point of entry, but again, sometimes the strength of that move down is so strong that bears will come in, they'll sell off kind of a breakout pullback off that trading range, and they'll run it back down to retest the low. Think about this for a second. Anyone who sells short right there, they're going to probably take the bulk of their profit where? At that low. Way I think about it is sellers up here now become buyers down here, right? So buyers now enter the market at that low. Is this a good place to sell short No, it's not. You want to sell short? Sell high. Don't chase it lower and sell it lower. Now do it again. Another bite at this apple. Trap these rookies in. We assume these are rookies. These are not professionals who are shorting down here. Trap those inexperienced traders in. Use their stops to fuel that move higher. And again, as we make our way back up into that trading range, as we make our way back to retest these big highs, it's always going to be that technical bear trap pattern off that low. We see a ton of these failure into trap combinations every week in our trade room. Now, let's slow down for a second, because I know most of you guys watching right now, you know these already. You're making money with failures, with trap patterns. But if you're here for the first time right now, I look at things a bit differently than a lot of other YouTube channels do. This could be a brand new language for you, but don't you worry. I teach the entire strategy, all the setups. I have hundreds of examples of failures and traps, everything taught in a lot more detail in our free video classes. I'll put a link up top there for you, upper right-hand corner. Grab that link that popped up and take that free trading course, because the strategy you're going to learn in that video series will teach you a stupidly simple trick we use every morning in our members trade room to know exactly where the best winning trades are going to be that day. And of course, I want to help you start making money on your own. I'll teach you 4 of my favorite entry patterns. That way you know how to time the best entries. Guys, the markets are great right now. If you're not making consistent money every day, if you're still missing the best trades every morning, if you're struggling to qualify for a funded account at Apex or Top Step, hit the link up top there. Take that free course. It'll give you an easy roadmap so you always know where the winning trades are going to be each day. And also be aware too, I'm going to put all the important links tonight, the description of the YouTube video. I'll put the free class links down there. Start first with the free video course, learn the basic strategy, and we trade together every morning at 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'll put the trade room links down there. Come join us and trade with us every morning. And also too, I post a lot of updates on Twitter throughout the week. If you're on Twitter or X, give me a follow. All the details you need, description of the YouTube video. But definitely start first with that free video course, because that will give you, again, I have hundreds of examples of shallow pullback traps, deeper pullback failure into trap combinations. Here, I'll give you a lot more examples of that to learn more on your own. All right, that's what to learn more in the description or linked up there in the upper right-hand corner. Now, let's talk about one more variation of this, and then we'll go over to the NASDAQ, and we'll talk about the move going higher. Again, there's probably some pretty good money to make if the market goes higher tomorrow, and we're going to cover that here in a moment. I mentioned earlier, I love the idea of running lower, and just like here, right, trapping those bears in, squeezing stops back up into that trading range. But you know what? Sometimes we don't get that. Sometimes the market rolls lower, and there's so many buyers down there because we're overall bullish, it just whoop right back up into that trading range. Keep an eye out for this V-bottom pattern. These are not my favorite, but sometimes it's all we get, right? So if they V-bottom up the low, the most important thing is usually as it V-bottoms, it begins to kind of grind going higher. This is the giveaway. Now, watch closely. Draw a trend line. Up off that high, bring it down off that low, and then what do we always do? Look left, find some prior swings, and you always want to get in off the first test of that channel. You can't see a good example on this one because it's a higher time frame on a 1,000 tick chart or a 1,500 tick chart. Off the highs, off the lows, as it rolls higher, right, there is that trap. Again, you want the first test off that channel low, right? So a good example there today, around 9:45 to 10:30 this morning in our trade room. But this is, again, not the most attractive trade in the world because I'd love to get buy off those lows, but my job right now is to make sure we're ready for no matter what the market throws at us. So if we get a V bottom on that, grab that bear trap, grab that seller failure, that pullback combination. This will all make a lot more sense once you guys get into that free video course. I linked up top there in the upper right-hand corner. All right, guys, those are the variations and some of my favorite trades here for tomorrow. Now let's talk about if we roll higher. Because again, we could trade breakout pullbacks, and we could definitely look for some fake out breakouts off of that high here. Over on the NASDAQ, NASDAQ's getting lonely over here. Nas, we're definitely bullish on the 60-minute chart. You don't need me to tell you that probably. Again, though, the 60-minute chart, I never found that time charts were very easy for pattern recognition. Tick charts are so much easier for pattern recognition. It's the way they work because tick charts are based on volume or transactions. That's why I like to use tick charts in our trade room. Same basic clues here on the NASDAQ tick chart, right? Again, 4,000 tick chart top there, upper left-hand corner. Big move higher. What do we always look for after a big move? A two-legged pullback and a retest of that high, right? Remember two-legged pullbacks, a bit more than a measured move. We got that. Again, strong run down. Anytime we see a strong move in one direction, we have to expect that the bears are going to try to retest the low. They may not get there. We may only get the pendulum swing. We may only get the amount above, amount below, and that may be where that trap comes in, right? Same we talked about there earlier. And of course, I think the most important clue here is that bullish move into that trading range. Remember, ranges love to rotate. You can see here on this one, the amount above, the amount below, that will give us some key areas of support. I'd love to get this rotation going here, buying low, selling high. So pretty much all the same stuff we talked about in the S&P can be applied here right now to the NASDAQ. Let's talk about now if we go higher. Our biggest challenge here on the NASDAQ, and the same thing here on the S&P, is that if we get a range breakout, we have to get through these highs. We have to get a pretty convincing breakout and then pull back. So it doesn't look as good for a breakout pullback. How would I sell? How would I sell up here? How would I short this thing off the high? There are two patterns. They're both bull trap patterns we're going to look for to short off the high. One is a crown reversal pattern. It looks just like this one. Look over here. Look over there right there. They pop up. See the buyers once, the buyers twice. And notice how we go just a little bit above that prior high right there. It's a lower low in price. See that pattern right there? Okay, do it again over here. I want to pop it up. Now remember, is this a good place to buy? No. Is it a good place to sell? Sure. But what's the problem though? The problem is momentum. We're not a bear market. If this is a bear market, I would say, okay, get aggressive. We can't be very aggressive shorting off this thing because we're a bull market overall. However, it's not a great place to be a buyer. So if I can get some buyers coming in trying once to go higher, again, lower low. Why lower low? Because buyers want to buy low. And so as we go lower and these buyers try again, yeah, see, now we got you, right? Now we got you. Now you can't leave, right? Now you're trapped in that position. So what I'm going to do is in this situation, because we're bullish, I want to get above that high. I want to get that little move above that high there and that strong red candle, right? That strong red candle closing underneath that moving average. Again, these are called, these are basically bull trap patterns, right? Buyers try once, buyers try twice. In the free video course, I call these crown reversals because they kind of look like a crown, right? Anyways, that's one way to trade this. Now, this could be a very lucrative trade because where does the market want to go now? It wants to rotate, right? All the way where? All the way back down, right? Rotate. Now, how would I short this thing as it rolls lower? Good question. That's our second type of bull trap or fake out breakout. Sometimes we'll go up and we'll get whacked right back down again, right? Because everybody knows that's the goal. So anybody who buys down here, they're taking their profit at the highs. And I'm sure after a big move higher like this week, I'm sure there's a lot of bears up there who would love to fade that move as well. So we might roll up. We might not get the buyers trapped in and roll lower. It might just get whacked right back down. These are all about discipline, okay? Discipline, because if you're anything like I am, when this thing starts to roll back down, you're going to feel like that FOMO, right? The FOMO will kick in on that, and you're not going to want to miss that move. I'll tell you right now, it's not worth chasing after it, because what happens a lot of times is you're going to get this. It'll draw that trend off the lows, up around that high, and then what do? We look left, we find prior swings, and I want to get now above that prior swing, up around the high of that channel. Look over here. Look over there. What happens, right? It goes up, crushes back down, grinds down. Look what the best entry is. Off that low, off that high. See how it's almost always above one of those prior swings, right? See it right there? There's no surprise. That was the best entry right there, right? Same thing over here. Okay. Now, I mean, if the trading gods are looking down on us tomorrow, we'll get that run up. We'll get that 1-2. We'll get that crown reversal, and then this thing will puke and roll lower, start grinding down, and we'll get 2 bites out of this apple, right? So sometimes we get both of them, sometimes we get one of them, sometimes we get none of them, right? That's how the markets work sometimes. So again, they're both bull traps. They're both bull traps. One I call a crown reversal. The other I kind of call a pop and grind, right? It pops down, grinds down, and we find that channel, and I want that first test. I want that first test off the high. And promise me, if we get one of these shorts for tomorrow, you better leave that runner, because trades like these could make your entire week, because we know the market now at that point wants to rotate back down again, right? So you better leave a little bit of that piece to run. You could regret cutting that trade a bit too early. Now, the final thing is, what would it take for a breakout pullback? It would take a very convincing break through this high, but more importantly, through that high as well. Now, this is definitely not out of the question for tomorrow. There's no major news tomorrow, so it seems a bit less likely. But, again, I have no crystal ball. I don't know what the market will do. All I know is how to trade these 3 scenarios. It works really well when you plan them out ahead of time. So let's talk about this. So if we get, for whatever reason, a very strong run going higher, you want to think about 2 types of entry patterns. As we're making our way higher, it's always going to be a bear trap entry on the way higher. This is the most aggressive entry in the process, and this is all about speed. It's all about the feeling of the market. You'll know when you see it, right? If the market is just crushing it running higher, I'm looking to buy as low as I can, and to buy low, I will always buy in with a bear trap. It's a higher high in price and a trap below that low. Now, at this point now this becomes a big move. Now, remind me again, what do we look for after a big move higher? We look for a 2-legged pullback and a retest of the high. Do you see how we basically reuse these patterns over and over again? We're not looking for variety, okay? We're not looking for new ideas. Once you know what works, just keep working what works. That big move up, now look left. Think about these highs right in there, right? This is the trading range, right? That's your range, right? This becomes the breakout pullback zone, right? It's basically the top of that move right there to the high of that trading range. Okay, makes sense? Now, wait for that 2-legged pullback, right? 2-legged pullback. Now, if you're a pro at this, if you're next level at this, it's that crown reversal, right? It's that crown reversal up here. Now, as I always warn you guys though, these types of shorts like this are tough to pick the top sometimes. So half size position, quarter size position. Remember, go big on your best trades. That's a good trade, but not a great trade, all right? So again, if you're upper level on this, you can grab those bull traps off the high. But if you want my opinion, if I was in your shoes, I go half size position, even quarter size position. If not 0 size position, if you're not making money, go with the trend overall. So again, it could be that crown reversal for some folks who've dialed in the system for themselves. Now, remember, we don't pick the bottom on this, right? For all I know, this comes collapsing. Right. Oh, and by the way, if this starts running lower and grinds down like this, no, we don't buy that, right? If this rolls over and grinds down, look for that first test off the high of that channel. It's almost a guarantee. When this thing rolls over like it did over here, when it grinds down like the grinder's the giveaway, all right? So if it grinds down like that, do not buy into that. Anyways, we go up. We get our 2-legged pullback. We come back into that breakout pullback. So we don't pick the bottom on this because, again, it may keep rolling. We look for, what was it again? It was same pattern right there, right? Same pattern right there. 1, 2, into that trap pattern going higher, right? It's that 1, 2. It's that 2-try failure. Bears once, bears twice. Why twice? Because I want those bears trapped, right? I want those sellers stuck short. I want to be able to use their stop losses to fuel that move where back up to retest the high. And again, on the way back to retest the high, we don't chase after it. We want to buy as low as we can. And to do that, it's always going to be that bear trap combination. All right. Now, failure in the bear trap. Most important thing though is, remember, this has to be a very convincing breakout going higher. Once it does that, then it's a big move up. We got that two-legged pullback, a bit more than a measured move. You'll learn more about measured moves in the free video classes, right? A bit more than a measured move, a bit more than a measured move, right? And again, we don't pick the bottom on that. We trap them in, failure, the trap pattern, back up to retest that high. All right, guys? That's the game plan for tomorrow. We are ready now for some fake out breakouts, some bear traps, and maybe if the Bears, if they get their mojo going tomorrow, if the Bulls get their mojo going tomorrow, maybe some breakout pullbacks. We'll see. Now, don't forget, tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock Eastern time, come trade this stuff with me. The easiest way to start making money in these markets is to learn and trade along every morning at the opening bell in our trade room, 8 o'clock Eastern time. I'm going to put all the links you guys need, the description of the YouTube video, the free class links, the trade room membership links, and of course, all the Twitter stuff down there, the description of the video. I would definitely start first on the free video classes, learn the basic strategy, and hopefully I'll see you sometime soon trading with us every morning at the opening bell. In the meantime, questions, comments, concerns, any issues getting started, don't be afraid to call the office. You can always, of course, use live chat on the webpage there as well. So keep in touch. If you need help, reach out for help. I'm here to help out every step of the process. Boy, what a fantastic day today. Been a red hot week so far. We got one more big day coming tomorrow. Hope you guys learned a bunch in this video here tonight. Hope you use this knowledge to make a killing tomorrow morning, and hopefully I'll see you sometime soon in the morning trade room trading along with me. In the meantime, be well, be nice to each other out there, will ya? And be here next time. Adios, amigos. Bye for now.